Hi there guys and girls, this is Jess here from Proactivity and welcome to our 4-part series, Boot Camp and Group Fitness. Okay. Now through these videos we're going to teach you a safe way to move your body and to train people. Okay. Really important part of this is obviously that we have a lot of fun. Okay, like clearly trying to have a bit of fun there. I was trying to do cartwheels. I'm not a gymnast and I'm not here to teach you cartwheels, thankfully. Okay, but we are here to have a bit of fun with this. So make sure if you're surrounded by other people that we're giving elbows and a few feet, okay, and keep involved and engaged as much as you can. Right, really important part of group fitness training or even training an individual person is safety, okay? Now, we're not gonna go and train my mate that's got a broken leg, are we? Surely not, okay? So really important to make sure that we communicate to each other and ask, the first thing we should be doing is, do you have any injuries or do you have any medical conditions that I might need to know about before starting training, okay? Also that we are training people within a safe environment, that there's nothing around them that is going to obstruct them and get them injured, and also that we are teaching them and teaching you guys the correct technique, okay? And this will set you a nice solid foundation to give you some skill sets to go and help other people train, okay? Now, most of the stuff I'm going to teach you will be about functional training and functional exercises. Now, what do I mean by that? Functional exercises are those things we do on a daily basis, okay? So when I talk about teaching you a squat, it looks like I'm about to sit in a chair and I'm gonna stand up off my chair, okay? If I'm gonna reach a box from the cupboard, okay, switching my core on, and I'm gonna pop it down, all right? These type of exercises are functional movements. We move to the side, we bring something to the table, yeah? So it's all functional movement patterns is what we're taking our body through here, okay? There will be ways where we can regress an exercise, so make it easy, or we can progress something to make it a bit more challenging for someone. Okay, we will start with a warm-up. Okay, all boot camps and all classes should start with some form of a warm-up, okay, to get our body ready for some vigorous training, all right? So we are going to start this session with some high knees. So we're going to be jogging up and down on the spot, all right? I will show you already a regression to this, which is marching on the spot. Now, if you feel comfortable, okay, to keep those high knees and running, I want you to stick with it, all right? But if that doesn't work for you, I want you to be doing some marching on the spot. Keep those arms going, okay? Otherwise, you guys that feel comfortable to do it, we're up and down, we're trying to get the heart rate up. All right, we're working the calves and getting our body ready for some exercise. All right, from here, we're gonna go into some butt kicks. So we're gonna kick those heels to our bottom, okay? Now, this is a regressed version, heels to bum. And if you'd like to advance it, you obviously run it out, so we speed it up a little bit. Okay, now with all these things I show you, doesn't matter where you're at, I want you to do what works for you. Don't copy your mate next door, all right? Don't try and be like someone else, be yourself, okay, with all of this. All right, from here, we're gonna go into some windmills. We're gonna nice and wide through those arms, and we're gonna head down towards our toes. Now again, if you cannot tap your toes, reach to the point that you can reach to, that you feel comfortable to do this exercise. All right, we should be working, twisting those arms, rotating through the upper body, using our core muscles and warming up again through the back of those legs, okay? So some nice rotations through our thoracic spine, warming up the upper body here as well as our lower body. Good, and as we come up, start to twist and rotate. Now pivot on your toes, okay, as you do this. All right, so I'm keeping my core nice and activated, my tummy's nice and tight. Looks like we're kind of dancing. I don't know what your dancing's like, but mine looks a bit like this, I guess. All right, and then from here, we're gonna go into some leg swings. So we're gonna warm up our hamstring, our big muscle at the back of our leg. So I'm going to kick with the leg swing, all right? If any of you guys that play footy, I'm sure you do plenty of these exercises. Dropping a footy on your leg and kicking up nice and strong. Okay. So with our exercises as we roll through these, this is warm up. Same applies to our exercises as we start, is you can do repetition of it. So you could do a number. So I might do 15 leg swings, change sides, 15 on the other. You guys can follow through. Or I might put timing. I might time, all right, duration of my activity. So with the warm up, I might do anywhere from 15 to maybe 30 seconds, okay, on an exercise to make sure that we're warming up the areas that we're about to work, okay. That was leg swings. We are now going to go into some arm rotations. All right, so we're going to work through the mobility of our shoulders and the range of our shoulders. This is just spinning forwards. Got some swimmers in there. You guys might find this one nice and easy. And backwards rotation. Nice work, guys, good. You don't have to put your hand here. I like to do that just so I can feel my shoulder moving, feel the body parts, feel what's working, and we'll change sides. So all these functional exercises we are about to do, not only obviously, as I said, for daily use, daily activities, but for many sports that you guys might play already out there, basketball, cricket, footy, karate, yoga, ballet, all right, the basic fundamentals and exercises that we're kind of going to run through today. All right, we're just going to open that chest and close it. So we want to open up, close it, open up. This is all we can do is big air hugs these days. So make them worthy, make them big air hugs. Like you want to hug the person next to you. Hopefully you want to hug them, okay? So big air hugs. Open the chest, squeeze the back. Open the chest, squeeze the back. Squeeze the back, okay? Alrighty, cool. So we will start with, I'm going to take you through our first exercise, which is going to be a squat. All right, when squatting, we want our feet just wider than hip width apart. There are many different positions you can put your feet for squatting, but today I'm going to teach you just the basic. Just wider than hip width apart, okay? What does that look like? Well, my hips are right here. I'm just going to stand either side to widen it up a little bit. I'm going to stand on the side to show you this. I want my weight through my heels. I want to push my bottom back, and I want to keep my chest high. Okay, I'm going to keep my hands forward. So as I go down, I'm going to push, weight goes through my heels, bottom back, and I'm going to drive up and stand tall. I'm going to do 3 of these and just watch my body movement. So taking nice deep breaths in as I was going down. And as I was coming up, I'm not too sure if any of you guys noticed, but I was making sure I really activated and squeezed my glutes as I stand tall. Okay? So it's not just about the downward phase, it's about how we work driving up. Squeeze those glutes. Hips forward. Okay? So I want us to do 15. We're going to do 15 squats together. 1, 2, 3. Now you can work your range yourself. When I talk about range, I talk about how deep we can go. Okay, now if you can't get down that deep, that is fine. Work to your level of comfort. Okay? Make that 12, 13, 14, and 15. That is our basic squat, all right? One of the first things you'll learn, okay, if you were ever to come to a gym or do basic fitness activity, okay, is how to squat. Really important to know how to do that, okay? Next one we're going to go into is a lunge. So it's another quad and glute dominant exercise. 2 ways you can do lunges. We can step back, okay, and we can also go forward into our lunge. So we can step back and we can go forward. Okay, I teach both ways. Up to you on how you would like to teach people. I tend to find if people have got sore knees or had sore knees, the reverse step is a little bit nicer through the knees than the front step, okay? Key to this one is to make sure, like with our squat, is that our knees track behind our feet. So we don't want to be squatting forward, otherwise we're going to fall. All right, same with our lunges. If you have a look at me, lunging here, okay? We don't want our body weight forward. We don't want that knee over the foot. All right, we want to try and keep our weight nice and vertical as we lunge. Okay, my knee is falling behind my foot with that lunge. Okay, and again, your range can differ. It doesn't have to hit the knee doesn't have to hit the ground. You can just go to here. Okay, so I'll let you work on whether you would like to do a forward lunge or whether you would like to do a reverse lunge. But I would like you to do 16 in total. All right, that is 8 on each side. So I'm giving you a rep range here and not timing it. You guys can start as I talk you through this. Okay, key to this, as you are going, don't let your body weight draw you forward. Work on the strength of your legs. All right, let your legs do the work. Legs do the work, not your body. Upright. All right, activate this. You guys are probably almost through your 16. You might say 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so there's some lunges. 2 really nice exercises if you want to get a nice leg workout. Okay, so we will be performing a 2-step dash. All right, that is moving forward for 2 and moving back for 2. Now again, we're going to be using predominantly our legs for this. All right, important that we don't bend and use our back. We want to be using our legs. Okay, so we go for forward 2, 1, 2, tap down, back 1, 2, tap down, 1, 2, tap, 1, 2, tap, 1, 2, tap, 1, 2, tap. Now notice I'm using my legs and I'm not bending down, being lazy and using my back. All right, legs straight. We don't want this. All right, we don't want to see tap, walk, walk, tap, walk, walk, tap. Let's get something out of it and really put the effort in to really get down nice and low. Tap the ground for every time, okay? So again, we could do this in reps of 10 or we could put timing on it, okay? You need to make sure that the person that you are going to train, you know what their abilities are, okay? So let's start with 10. I'm gonna make you guys do 10. Up is 1, back is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you do 10 of those, and let's see how puffed where your heart rate's at, okay, at the end of that. Are we ready? Let's do it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if you don't feel like you got enough out of that, that means you need to do more. If it was too much, you need to do less. All right, so you need to find that happy space for the person that you are training. Okay, our next one we will go into will be bounding. So this will be jumping, so nice big jumps with our legs. Okay, so I'll start standing back and I'm going to jump into you, nice and broad. Okay, we jump. So notice I'm using my arms, jump, and we jump. Okay, I'll shuffle back and jump forward. Landing nice and solid through those legs, and we shuffle back. Now I can fit 3 in the space I have here. All right, you will work within the space that you have. Long ways, you can jump forward, sideways. I'll leave that up to you, okay? Important with this, that you see that we land low, okay, back into that squat position. So we're back to that first exercise, okay, we learnt, which is why squatting is very important to learn. Squat, into a squat, yeah? All right. Now again, if you have any injuries or you can't do the jumps, you would step it and then squat, step and squat, okay? So that is the regression, and to advance it, obviously, you've got the jumps, okay? Now let's give this a go. I'm gonna do this for time. All right, so we're gonna put about 30 seconds on the clock, and we're just gonna keep jumping around, all right? Let's do it. So we've got about 30 seconds worth. A big broad jump, see how we go. Remember to land low through those legs. Okay, And if you are that person, keep going with this, you've got 30 seconds that needs to do this, then you will make sure that you do that movement, okay? Keep going here, you've got another 15 seconds. We are almost there. Keep jumping. All right, we are working the legs and we are working the heart rate here, nice and high. Just about done. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, give them a shake out. Great effort there. All right, now that was some lower body functional exercises. This next one we're going to move into some upper body, okay? Now I'm sure that everyone has done a push-up in their time. That's the first thing we're going to learn is a push-up, okay? So I'm going to get myself down and I'm going to start this on my knees, okay? I don't need to advance it yet onto my feet because I don't know how to do it properly yet on my knees, okay? So, push-up. We don't want to have the bottom travels down. We don't want to keep that up. All right, so we are not kissing the ground. Okay? We don't want to bow to the ground just yet. All right, we want those hips to come in and our hips follow our movement, our chest to ground. So we come down and we drive up. Come down and we drive up. All right, now unless you have nailed this exercise, you do not go to your feet. Okay, unless you are comfortable getting your chest all the way to the ground and pressing up nice and strong, you will not advance it to your feet. Okay, now in most cases, if you do it properly on your knees and you did 10 to 15 reps on your knees properly, that is just a sufficient workout, just doing that. Okay, there is no need when people say, right, do push-ups. You don't have to be a hero and jump up onto your feet just to show someone you can do push-ups. Do them properly, all right, the simple way. And as you start to get, you're doing maybe 30 or even more, all right, challenge yourself further and hop up onto your feet for your push-up. You're still gonna get yourself nice and deep and drive tall, okay? Now, I'm gonna get you guys to do these. What I don't want to see is this. Yeah, finish my 15. No, you haven't, because they were crappy. You got to do them properly, all right? Slow, controlled movements is what we've been doing, what we've been working on. So we're down for 1, okay? So I'm going to get you guys to do 15. How do you think about that? Yep, let's go for it. Down we go, keep those hips in. Chest to the ground and drive up. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If that is enough for you, you can stop there. Otherwise, keep going. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well done, okay? That's 15 nice quality repetitions. Okay, there. Now, if you found that really challenging to get your chest to the ground, what I want you to do is you just go make sure those hips stay in, so we keep a nice technique, and learning to do this, is to just go as far as you can and then come up. Okay, as far as you can and then come up. As far as you can. Okay, so that is the way to progress this one down. Okay, as far as you can and then come back up. All right, so they are our push-ups. Now, next one we move into is our dips. All right, so we're working the back of the arm, so our triceps. All right, our push-ups work our chest and our back and a little bit of triceps, and this one is predominantly triceps and shoulders. So if you haven't got anything to prop yourself up on, just using the ground, you're just going to bend at the knees, and then we bend at the elbows and we drive up. Bend at the elbows, extend at the elbows. Bend, extend, bend, extend, bend, extend. Okay? Now if you do have something to elevate yourself up on, like a bench, you can pop yourself up on a bench, okay? Pop your feet out, and exactly the same movement pattern. Bend through those elbows and driving up. All right, a smaller muscle group through the back of the arms is what we're working there. Now we put this into a bit more movement, so a bit more of a movement pattern, and it's called a walkout. So So with our walkout, we're going to bend through the knees, we're going to work through the arms, make sure we activate through our core. Okay, so stretch those arms out, out, out. I'm going to hold into a straight arm plank. I'm going to bend the knees as we come in and walk back in. Stand up nice and tall. So engage your core, bend the knees, walk yourself out. To be nice and straight, hands are stacked under the shoulders, walk back in. This is called a walk out, all right, or an inchworm. A couple of different terminologies, depending on where you train. All right, that is a walk out. To regress this down, you can start at your knees, okay? You can walk out from here and walk back in. This is still working our upper body and we're still trying to think about keeping our core engaged. All right, so if the standing is too much, you can come to your knees and come back down, okay? And our last one we're going to finish with is a core exercise, and again, some upper body, is shoulder taps, okay? So this one here, we really need to make sure that our hands are running underneath our shoulders. Okay, hands are stacked under the shoulders, and what we do is we alternate hand to shoulder. All right, stay nice and sturdy and controlled as we do this. Okay, to regress this down to make it easier, just drop your knees down, keep those hips in, and same movements. It doesn't have to be overly quick. Okay, and that is your shoulder taps. All right, now we're just going to finish with two other core exercises. That is a plank. I'm sure we've all planked before, and we have our mountain climbers, okay? So with our plank, a couple of ways we can do it as we just worked. You can do it straight arms, but you want to hover that body over the hands, okay? When I'm doing this, I'm thinking about drawing my belly button into my spine and the back of my knees up to the roof. So I should look like a nice flat board, hopefully, okay? Somewhere where you could eat lunch, or you could sit on me, okay, at lunchtime and eat your lunch. Let's have a look. Do I look like you could sit on me? Hopefully. I hope so. Okay, this is our plank. To advance this, we can drop down to our elbows. And again, hopefully I look like a nice solid board that you can sit on at school and eat your lunch. Okay? I probably wouldn't stay here too long, that's for sure. All right, so there's our plank. So once you think about these exercises like that, you can only give time. You can't really give a repetition to a stationary, stagnant exercise. All right, you have to give time to that. Okay, so if you're wanting to, when programming these, you have to pop time into plank and really think about the activities, okay, that you are providing people, and whether a repetition is better or whether timing works better, okay? The last one is just our mountain climbers, okay? So there's a couple ways we can do this. We can do opposite knee to elbow, or we can do same knee to same elbow, okay? So opposite knee, I like to do these nice and slow so we don't rotate through those hips too much, okay? So we cross opposite knee, all right, to opposite elbow or wrist, and make sure that body weight is forward of the hands and we're not up here, okay? So stretch that body out, and we are trying to work our oblique muscles, okay? Through our stomach, obliques, all right? You can also go up, straight up the middle, all right? This one I don't mind doing a bit quicker because the pelvis stays nice and still, okay? All right, or you can slow it down if you need to. All right, so there are mountain climbers. Now, that's a bit of a base of our exercises that we're going to use, and I'm going to help create circuits for you guys that you can apply to one another, okay, within some of these next sessions. Now, really important with this that you always know your regressions and how to progress or advance people with their exercises, okay? When obviously finishing, we also want to make sure that we have a cool down. So we have a warm up, we have a session, and then we have a cool down. All right, so really important towards the end that we stretch the body while the muscles are still really warm. We want to make sure that we can stretch the body, okay, and elongate our muscles even further. All right, so we might just start with standing on one foot. We're stretching through the front of our leg, which is our big quadricep muscle, and we want to push those hips forward. Okay, and this also works on your balance while you're here too. All right, if you do need something to hold onto, a wall, a chair, make sure you do grab that. And you can change sides. Now again, this is another example of an exercise that you can't give repetition to, you have to give time to. Right, it is a stretch. You might want to hold minimum 20 seconds, okay, in your stretches, depending on how much time you have. Okay, so this is stretching through the quad, maybe through the hips. I'm going to stand nice and wide. I'm going to push to one side, stretching through the inner groin. You can pop your arm on your knee. Straighten yourself up, go to the other side. And standing tall. Now we're just going to rotate those hips. So push the bottom, hips out, pelvis forward. And the other direction. It's another one of these crazy dance moves in slow motion. All right, we're now going to stretch out the hamstrings, so the back of the legs. So what I'd like you to do is to lean down, a bit like what you might do in yoga. Okay, we're going to walk those heels down to the ground. All right. To stretch the calves, the back of the leg and through the hamstrings. We're now going to hold one down, so hold it down and push your bottom back. And change sides. Right. Make sure when you do this, you are holding for about 20 seconds, okay, on these exercises. Right. Walk your hands all the way back in. I'm just going to hang down. So nice big stretch through the back of the legs. I'm going to draw that core in, I'm going to suck it in, and we're going to roll slowly. And I'm going to roll those shoulders back, and we're going to roll them forwards. Cool. I'm going to grab one arm, pop it across our body. Shake it out, change sides. So a really important piece to remember is that we do warm up before we train. We don't just go into training. All right, and we're going to stretch that chest. So we're going to lock those hands together. I'm going to push the chest out. Okay, push that chest out. So important to make sure that as a group, you warm up really well, particularly if it's cold. Even if it's warm, you just want to start to stretch and weight those muscles up, all right, to prevent any injury, because that's the last thing you want to do is to start something that you're excited about and then not be able to do it, okay? And complete your session and have a cool down, all right? So it's a nice way to slow things down a bit. Talk about the session, what you liked, what you didn't like. Okay, now obviously as you've finished, if there's any areas that you feel you need to stretch a little bit more, we can do that. All right, we only really work the legs and the glutes, and we do a little bit of push-ups, so with chest and our back, all right, and the triceps. So if you'd like, you can kick that arm up and we pull that elbow back, and we try and stretch down through the back of the arm here. So this is a tricep stretch, shoulder stretch, work on the mobility here too. Okay, so well done you guys. I look forward to what video number 2 has entailed for you. Be working a little bit, start to work on a bit of our mobility, flexibility, how to build strength, and also how to advance even further the functional exercises that we have given to you today. So just to recap, we went through our squats, okay? I'll do 2 of everything. We did our lunges, We did our two-step side dash, two-step dash. All right, we did our 2 feet bounds. Okay, we did our push-ups. All right, from there we did our dips. So we flicked around into our dips. All right, we then did our walkouts. Stand tall, engage core. Bend those knees, stand up. Okay, and from there we did those shoulder taps. Opposite hand, opposite shoulder. All right, stay nice and stable through your core. Regress it down, drop to the knees. Okay, we did our planks. Or here, and we did our mountain climbers. Okay, so they're just a few really basic functional moves that we have done for today's session number 1. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you session number 2.